Everyone, today I'm going to design this kind of simple and classic website. Yeah, this might be looking simple, but designing this will teach you a lot of great things like really in the CSS. So it's a kind of very simple website. It just has an image, a navigation bar that is filled with a lot of cool looking things and kind of footer. It's very simple, and by designing this website you will really get the confidence to make great things. So I have this kind of folder created on the desktop, and inside this I don't have the HTML, I don't have this CSS file. So inside this CSS I have the font awesome that I'll be using for the this what you call this icons, and I should remove the unnecessary things. Move to win, and so I have taken the images from Unsplash. You are free to use them, and the icons from Font Awesome, and the fonts from Google Fonts. Yes, that's cool thing. So let's start doing it. First of all, we need to create the HTML file, the index.html. So I went to the desktop inside the folder where I'm creating this, and here I'm going to call this index.html. .html is the mandatory thing that you have to put. Create another file by creating command and control n, or go to file and new file, and it will happen. Now save it, and you should save this inside CSS because we want to keep things styled, organized. So you have to put .css, that is mandatory, and I gave it a name of style.css. Now what you need to do, we need to create the HTML bare bones. Just press shift 1 or shift exclamation mark, then press tab or enter, and the bare bones have shown up. We will give it a title of shoe. That makes sense. And if I save it now and come back over to here onto the desktop, and here is the file that is saved, and let me show you. I typed the shoe that is showing up here, and it is showing nothing else right now. We need to link the CSS file because we are using it from a folder. So type the name of that folder, then the file name style.css. CSS. Now this is linked as well. Now we need to link that font awesome file as well. That is also a CSS file. So just the same thing, CSS, then we have a font of FA, then we have another font FA, then all.min.css. That's the name of the file inside this folder. Let me show you where this thing is coming from. CSS, FA, CSS, then this is all.min.css. Why we are using this file exactly? Why? Because this is compressed like this, and that's the only reason. Now that is taken care of. Now what we need to do, we need to go to the body. That's where everything happens, which we see on the website. So first of all, we have to create the header. Header is a pre-made thing, so we are not creating a div or anything or section, and we are giving it a class name of header. I mean, I could name it anything, but I named it header, no problem. Now inside this, first of all, we need to create this top line. What is the name? This kind of just this line, just write that line only. Okay, so let's call that maybe h3, I mean h1 to h6. That is what you can use, and this is given by them by HTML. I mean, I'm not making it up. So call it top line. Yeah, and what's written over there, why don't we just copy it? And I just copied it, and I will just paste it over here. That is done. Now we still need to do all these things in the header. Now we have a kind of navigation bar, so call this nav dot top nav, and inside this we need, I think, three things. So they can be this links, so let's give them a class link as links. Yeah, why not? And we are not taking them anywhere where on the click, so put a hash mark on instead of href. I mean, here it could be like, maybe if I have a contact us.html file, then that could be here. Or if we want to port it to google.com, that could be here. Something like that. But right now, hash means do not go anywhere. So the first thing is login. Yeah, I will make them capitalized, not right now. I will use the code to do that. Two smart things. Okay, then we have sign up. Yes, duplicate it once more. I'm pressing shift alt or shift option down arrow. Then I think we have what we have, cart, and then 0, and this thing is taken care of. Now we need to create that bottom section, and what should we call this? Maybe call this create a section. section section, and give it a class of center. Now inside this we need to three things. First is left side, and we are going to create a div left, and let's create all these three things. So div center, no, mi double d in middle, and right. These three things are created. Now inside them we need to create things. So first of all, we are going to create things inside this left side. Left side is has two things, a kind of title at top. So let's maybe call that h3. Yeah, give it a class of USA, and what's written over there, handcrafted in America. Why don't we just copy this thing, Command C or Control C, and paste it over here. That's looking fine. And we have one more thing over there, and it is still inside the left. Am I doing it right? Was I supposed to do? No, I'm supposed to do it here because we are inside the left section. Now what we have nav. So let's draw small nav. I mean, I'm creating a div inside because we want to do some kind of smart things. Okay, and inside this we need links, a.n links. Yeah, I mean, we should use the same thing again. Maybe no, I will use r links. No, s links, small links. Yeah, and inside this, what is the first thing? Footwear, footwear. Duplicate this. I think this is accessories, 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 and the last one is sale. I assume I saw that. Yeah, that's okay. Now this thing is taken care of. This thing is taken care of. Now we need to style the middle part. You can just give it as much. So it should be h1. You have to use h1, and logo is the best place to put the h1 inside your website. That's for the SEO. Your website should appear on the Google search, not just on your okay. I mean, if your website is not looking in the search, then it's kind of little use. So, and I think inside this middle we should create one thing. We need to create two things. So that is an h3, call that tag line. And what is that? Boot makers, boot makers. I will make this small. Why don't, yeah, boot makers with the code I should do, but here it is just one line, so there's no kind of fun doing that. I think the middle section is taken care of. Now we need to create one thing, that is we need to style the, and we are still inside the header because header is pretty large. So what we have here in the right section, same things as this, but just the tagline. Then we have an input. So we will copy this here, and I think what's written over here, it's written design for longevity or longevity. I don't know what is that. Longevity. No. Accessories. What is? I'm copying the wrong line. I should copy this, handcrafted in USA. Yeah, and now I'm in the right section, and here I have to write design for longevity. So okay, this thing is taken care of. Now we have an input, so we need to create a div for search. Inside this we have an input. Yes, it should be text. It should have a placeholder. Does it have a placeholder? PLAC placeholder, and I will look if it has a placeholder. Yes, it does has a placeholder of search. Then we need this icon, this search icon. So we are going to put I, that is for font awesome CLASS plus, and it is for dash SERCH. Am I making it up? No. You go here and here it is, and it is FAS, means font awesome simple, not FAR. So I will change this to FAS. If you want to use like Instagram, then you have to put FAB, font awesome brands, then FA dash Instagram. It is that simple. I mean, there is no magic here. So if I open this file now, what I created, it will look pretty, not pretty, it will look pretty bad. So I think we have done everything for the header. We should style it now. But first of all, we need to import the fonts. I have like selected the fonts. You go to Google Fonts and you select the fonts that you like, and then I will import them to the CSS. You have to copy this, not the styles. You could do it with the HTML as well, but I will not do that because that increase your work, and I don't like that. Just paste it over here. The fonts are imported now. Now you want to reset the browser's default padding and margin. So what do you do? Just put them to 0. Why you do? Because if you don't do, then your website will behave strangely and you will have no idea why this is doing. Now we need to create the body, and body is, we do not have to give any class or ID to the body. It is understood by the CSS. So we have to create a canvas kind of. So we have to give it a width, how much, 100%, and VW means view width. That makes sense. And height, automatic. Why should we worry about the height? Why should we give it like 2000, 1000, or all those things? Now we have this header, and to the header we will just give the width, how much it should be, 80 VW, 80%, because look here, it is not gone to the extreme edges, it's just this much. And the height, yeah, this is pretty large, so I will give it a kind of bit height. Nothing has changed, but I think the header should be maybe 300 pixels. That will be too large, but no worries. Now we need to style the top line. This top line, I think this top line should not be an H3, it should be H4 maybe. And we need to change the font style. I'm not liking this font, so I go over here. Just by linking that will not change the font. I will put this kind of sans serif. I don't like sans serif fonts, but anyway, here we are using them. And to the top line dot topline, top line, we need to put the font family, and I think we need to make it capitalized as well. So how we do that? Text transform uppercase, and we may reduce the font size as well, maybe 0.8 ems. Let's see how does that work. And we will change the color as well. I think it is still large enough. How about 6? And we will make it its color red. That's happening, but it is a little small. How about 7? And are you seeing this text is kind of very not so good? So but first thing first, you have to give margin to the header to put this thing in the center. So 0 at the top, 0% or 0, then auto. It will put things in the center of the, it is still not working. I know, but wait, we will do this. So this thing is taken care of top line. Then what we have this thing called top nav. Yeah, I mean, after this we will do some smart things. Top nav, is it so? Top and yeah, that is like this. What does it need? It needs border bottom 1 pixel solid black, duplicate it, and it should be border at the top. Let's see, does it work? That worked. And now the text should be aligned to the right side. How are we going to do that? We will do, let's try this text align to the right. Let's see if that work or not. that work, but we need to give them some spacing as well at the top and bottom. So what are they? They are n links. I mean, we are styling everything, okay, one by one, so you get the idea. So let's give them padding to the left, maybe 20 pixels. Let's see if that work or not. that didn't that didn't work. We will use something else. Am I doing the right things? I am doing the wrong thing because I have not added the dot that has to be here. Now if I refresh, they have got some. Yes, some they have got, but it should not be padding. It should be padding to the right or left. Let's see what works. Left, left. That makes sense. And now they need some spacing, like padding at the top and bottom. So padding top. How about margin? We could, margin is outside, so it's padding at the top 2%. Duplicate this and call it BOW on bottom. Let's see if that work or not. That has not worked. Why? 2%. How about 6%? It is still not working. We have to give this padding to the top nav. Yes. Let's see if that work or not. That is too much. How about 1% and 1%? I mean, we are figuring out things, okay, how they work. If they are not working, we have to use some hacks. Now that text has underlines which we don't like. We want to remove them. How we remove them? We need to remove the text decoration. So how we do that? None, and that will be gone. What is the color of font over here? The color of font over here is kind of black, so we are going to give it the color of black. How we do that? We write col or color, and then we write either black. I mean, if you are getting confused, I will just write black. That's okay. We need to change the font and we want to make them capitalized. How we do that? Text transform uppercase. Okay, and we want to change the font family. Now how we do that? We go to the Google Fonts again, and I have copied this sans serifs, and I will give the font family specifically to this, like we did to the other thing. And the font is pretty large, so we don't like that. How about font size maybe 0.8 ems? We may still reduce it. I think this is looking fine. Okay, now what we need, now this top nav needs margin at the bottom, so the things are not touching it. So maybe 2%. Is that making sense? Yes. Now what we need to put these three things, like, okay, let me show you what I'm saying. So we have this section called center. Is it center or middle? CENTER. And see the magic now. I will write flexbox. Nothing happened, and it is written wrongly. See the magic, but it is still not magic. Why? Because we have to use justify items and to throw them in a nice way. Has the magic yet happened? Kind of. Okay, now we need to style them individually. Okay, and how we are going to do that? I think, how about aligning items in the center? I think they are already in the center. Maybe yes, now they are in the dead center. That looks fine. Now we need to style the left side. Okay, the left side, where is this left side? Center. Yes, this is the first section, that is left. Left does left has three things. So first is USA. Let's style that .USA, and we will give it the font family to look at Yes, this one. So it looks kind of unique, kind of that Adobe Caslon Pro font. I think that is, it is it looking good? Yeah, it's looking fine. I mean, we can live with it. We could change the phone, but that will take a lot of time to look for the phone. Anyway, you got the idea. You can just, because I have given them similar class, so they are taking the same phone. And why are they are not spaced? Okay, I think I need the space here as well. If I save it now, it will get the space. Now that thing is taken care of. Now we need to style that footer underneath. So I think we could just pick things from here, just like that. And we have already styled the end links. If I don't need the padding, text decoration, I need the color, I need the font size, I need this. And does it have the same font family? It has got a different font family, and that is I will need to take care of. I will, okay, just okay. What is this thing? This thing is on the left side. We have small nav, and they have a class of S-links. Okay, I will just duplicate this thing and paste it over here and change it to S-links. Let's see if that gives some result or not. That is giving, but we need to change the font. We need to align them as well. How we are going to do that? So what is the name of this section? That this is left. How I got the access to the left dot left. I will access the left here dot left. Now we need to align them in the center. How we are going to do that? Let's try this, if that work or not. I mean, you have to try things, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Think it worked, or I could displayed flex, and and why don't we just do that? Display flex, flex direction column means up and down. I'll see same result. If I remove this text align in the center by commenting it, that didn't work. Why? Maybe align items in the center. The same thing, I mean, that's happening kind of, but I think instead of using so many lines, this thing is doing a pretty good job. It's kind of doing okay. Just okay. Now what we need to have this kind of border at the top and border at the right. So this thing, this S links will have a border at the top, border top 1 pixel solid, and it will be black. It doesn't need the border. The border should be given to the whole family's whole element, that is small nav. SMA small nav. Then we put this. Is it working? This is working. Now we need to make it kind of spacious. We need to give it this. What is the name of this thing? I think this USA link, and it should have a margin at the bottom. Margin at the bottom. How about 2%? Still very less. Maybe 4%. It's kind of making sense. Now what we need, this thing should have some padding. This small nav, yes, padding. I think at the top should be 2%, because we want to space out that border. It's okay. Think it's okay. Now we have kind of styled it. We need that border at the right side, so we will create something out of the thin air, out of nowhere. So what we are going to do, that we are going to maybe underneath this, or here we'll create a span. give it class of line. And is it going to work? Why not? Dot line line, and it should have a width of 2 pixels, height of 100 pixels. Let's see, is it stupid or it is working? It is not working yet. We need to give it width, height, border 1 pixel, solid black. It's kind of working, but 100 pixels is very small, maybe 300 pixels. I might be doing something wrong here. It has width, height, border, and fill should be none. This is not working. This is not working. I have to maybe make it 500. Why this is not working? Border. Something is wrong here. We have to like width is 2 pixels. That's okay. How about 5 pixels? It is not at all getting changed. Let's remove it for a while and do the small nav. Give it a border on the right, 1 pixel, solid black. Let's see if that work or not. It is not like this. This has to be given to the left. Where is left? This is the left thing. And I think we need this padding that I just gave here on the top. It should be on the, why don't we just give it the padding on the here only. Padding on the kind of right side should be 2%. I mean, you have to look for the hacks. And is it like so? It is not like so. We do not have to give the padding here. We have to give it to the element itself. Let's try that. No, we don't have to refresh that. We have to refresh this. Why that text is gone down? It should be not percent, but maybe 8 pixels. That's kind of working, okay? And we need to change the font as well, but let's do that later on a bit. Now we need to style this font in the middle. So I have selected this font, Vast Shadow, and this thing in the center is called logo. It has an ID. I mean, I have created that. I'm not making it up. LOG or logo. Now post this font family, and let's see if that do something or not. Kind of did. We need to align the text in the center. So what is this thing called? It's called center middle. Middle should have text aligned as center. So middle, middle, text, text align in the center. Let's see if that work or not. We will use a different hack, otherwise this has kind of worked. We need to change this font as well, so we will change this font to some other font. I think I have this font over here, Roboto. Why don't we use that font? Because we do not want to leave that behind. And what's the class of this thing? It is a tagline. So we could do this inside the middle, whatever h3 we have, but we have this class. Why don't we use that? And the font family should be this. If I come back now to this, kind of working, okay? And now we have to apply the same styling to this, and we have to style this as well. Let's do that. And first of all, I think we need to add those borders. No, let's style the search. I think I have created this search area. So here is this, first we have this line. This is styled, that looks fine. Give it some space over here, and then search. Now this search dot ser search What does it need? It needs some width. How about 120 pixels? It needs height, maybe 30 pixels. What does it need? It needs a border. How much? 1 pixel. Solid black. What else it need? I know things are looking strange, but I will take it off it. 120 is less. We may increase it a bit like this. That's making sense. Now we need to align the things in the center. So display, flex, and same thing, justify items, content, sorry, space between, and align the items in the center so they are not touching the top. Now we need to remove the border from the input. Input should have no border, so border none. Let's see input should have no border. And does it have a class of input? We have not given it anything, so instead of giving a class, why don't we do this? Inside the search, whatever is input should have no border. That's gone. Now we want to give it some padding to this. Yeah, padding how much? Maybe 4 pixels. That will be big. That's making sense. Do we want to increase the size of this font? We cannot access it easily, so we have to do this it like this. How much? Font size of May font. Yeah, that's a shortcut property that can be used, but I will use that in a later episode. Font size, how about 1.2 ems? That will be large, I assume. It's okay. Do we want to make it capital like here? It is not capital. And how about this icon on the right side? That is kind of not aligned well. So what does it need? Padding is 4 pixels. Why that is not taking the padding? That needs what is this thing? Does it have a class? It has many classes, but we will do one thing. Inside search whatever is I, things with the I mean that is the element. It needs a padding to the right side of 2 pixels. Let's try that. 2 pixels is okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's kind of very bright. We want to reduce its opacity, and maybe 0.6. And now look at its opacity. It is looking kind of that thing. Now 2 pixels is not okay. How about 6 pixels? It's looking okay. Now what we need to put some thing like this. It has a kind of border. It could be a different box as well. How about maybe this will be a problem. How about does it need a border? If I try that, border on the left side, 1 pixel, solid, 000 means black. Let's try that, if that work or not. Not really. So what is the thing for this? We need to give it, I think, the border to the whole thing. Border 1 pixel, solid. Is it oh, is it written rightly? I think so. Yes. Now we need to give it some padding. How about 4 pixels? Still not good. How about, you have to look for the hacks. I mean, everything can be done. I think that's kind of okay. How about removing the border at the top and bottom? Border top, none, and duplicate this line, border at the bottom. It's kind of working, and we need to remove the border at the right side also. I mean, you have to use the hacks. It's making sense. And how about increasing its height, or What else we used? Padding, how about 7 pixels? Kind of worked. Okay, you just did this thing. And do we need to align this to the right side? I think we need to align them to the right side. So what's the name of this thing? This is called right. And how about styling the right, R-I-G-H-T, right? And if we text align to the right, let's see if that work or not. That didn't work. How about style? How about display flex, and flex direction should be okay. Let's see if it is making things complicated or not. Not yet. Why? Am I styling the right thing? Yes, it is dot right. Display is flex. Flex flex direction should be column. And let's see now. I mean, it is as we want. It is already like that, but we want to align this to that edge. How it is here, they are aligned to each other like that. So text align center. It is a kind of what is the name of this thing? This tagline over here. It is an h3 inside right. So in the right class, whatever is an h3, its text should be aligned in the center. Let's try that. How about left? It's not even getting accessed. Right? I think the padding is giving the problem. Why it is so? Why things are getting tough here? How about no? I need the border at the top of this section. Okay, I will take care of these things. No problem. This is search, and we have given all those borders and everything to the search, so we do not need to style that now. We need to create, maybe we need to give the border at the bottom to the h3 element, so it needs a border at the bottom. Let's see if this is even getting accessed or not. Border at the bottom, it should be 1 pixel, solid black. That makes sense. Now if I come back now, okay, and it needs a border at the right. So what does that need? This thing needs, so border on the left side should be 1 pixel, solid. Save it now. That kind of didn't work. Why? Right border left should be 1 pixel, solid. Why has this not worked like the other one? If I come to the left side, when I'm using some hacks, border right is just like this, and right, this is the name of the whole body. It should have a border on the left. So why this is not even happening? Does it have a width and height? Let's give it a width of around 400 pixels. Am I even opening this file? Let me open this again. Yes, width is 400. I will reduce its width. I mean, you face these problems and then you have to look for the solution. So that's why I'm doing this live with you. Is the name of this element is div class right? Yes, it is right. And I will do one thing. I will give it a background color of red, so I really know that yes, I'm accessing this thing is not getting accessed. RIGST, right? It's a class. What? Yes, now it is getting accessed. Now let's see what's the problem. Does it have a width and text line in the center? That's okay. Have we done anything other than this. Width should be, let's remove this. That's okay. Now if I remove the background red, because I now have idea that this is getting accessed, or now this search need to have some padding. Yes, I think this is taken care of now. Search needs to have padding on the left side of around 6 pixels. That kinda didn't work because I'm accessing the wrong thing. It should be just the search. No, it should be margin, stupid. That is because padding is inside and margin is outside. I was doing wrong thing. 6%. How about 12 pixels? I could give it some percentage also. I will do that. How about 4% of the whole element? How about 8%? I mean, I used a hack and kind of this worked. Now this is in the center, and it's, why don't we give some height to the right body? You getting irritated or something like that? No, you have to, like, when you start making websites, you will have to deal with a lot of things and you will get irritated, but that's how this thing works. How about 200 pixels? Will that make some sense? That is too much. How about 80 pixels? Looks fine. Looks fine. What else we need to do? Is it display flex the right section? Yes. Text line in the center and align items in the center. How about this? That is not what we want. The flex direction is column, and justify content. How about center or space between, or like that? That is working, guys. I mean, this section is taken care of. This might be looking a little, now what we need, this thing is getting compressed. Let's need some margin at the bottom. So what is the name of this thing? This thing needs margin at the bottom, maybe 4%. That will be too much. How about 2%? Or could be, yes, this is too much. Or maybe 1% could be fine. That's kind of okay. And if we want to bring it down, we just have to give some margin or maybe text line in the center, but margin, look for that. Okay, and that will push, I think, other things down as well. But this thing is taken care of. We can tweak it, we can make it clean, and but it's looking like something. And what else we need to do? Its color is blue. Why don't we change its color? So what is the name of this thing? So here it is. Where is this thing? I mean, things are irritating, and I love doing them. Okay, search that has an eye, it should have a color. I mean, you want to be a programmer, you have to do things on the repeat. I mean, up to the irritate, when, I mean, you might get irritated, but that's the love with this thing. And its opacity is reduced, so it's looking a bit small. Do you want to decrease the size of this thing? Maybe, yeah. Font size, I mean, this is a font now, this is not some image, so maybe 0.8 ems. Let's try that. Looking fine, perfect. And now here we have a line at the bottom? No, we have just an image. So what we need to do, we need to create the main section. The header is done. This is the biggest header. Okay, I mean, so many lines, so we have to create the main is given by the HTML itself, so we are not creating it, we are giving it a class of main to make things easy for us. So what does it have? It has an image, so img dot kind of banner. Where is this image? Inside the image folder, do we have some images? I will have to look for the name of the image, and we are using this shoe2.png. I'm not using this image given by the website itself, shoe2.png. shoe2.png. Also we need to put this thing in the center. How will that happen? We have to give it margin. Same thing again, we have to give it width as well. So we need to now access the main thing, and it should have a width just like that. It should be 80% or 80 bw. Height automatic, do not worry about it. What else? It needs margin, so things are in the center, so 2% at the top, so things are not touching each other. Auto, this thing will work. It worked. And margin top is maybe too much. How about 0%? Because things at the top already have margin. Do we want to put it further up? Maybe minus 4%. That's taking things up. I think these fonts are looking not so good. That doesn't have the space at the bottom. We need to style that. What is the name of this thing? This is on the right side. We have an H3. Yes, it needs margin at the bottom. How about 6 pixels? Or it could be 2% or something like that. No, no, that didn't work. How about 4%? I may have to use some different hack for this. How about 8%? It is it doesn't need that. It needs padding at the bottom, I assume. How much? Maybe 8 pixels, because this line is touching it. Now that's making sense. Now we are styling this image. It's looking fine. Big image, kind of. This image, it has some text on it. Do we want to put this text? Yes. And how we will do that? We'll come back over here inside the main section. We will create something like this, and h1 with the id of text text. I may have not used it already, and let's call this by hand made shoes, and we may create a button as well. And this is an h1 has an id of text, so text text. What does it need? It needs to be capital. It is already capitalized. It should be, since the image is bright, so we may make it its color orange. That may look bad, and this will come underneath. We want to put it at the top, so how we do that? How about position? What should be that, absolute or relative? Let's use absolute, and top should be, how about minus 8%? I mean, I'm just trying a thing that may work or may not work. Where has it gone? It has disappeared because it's absolute. It should not be like this. It has gone outside of the browser. How about relative? Now where is this? It is still at the same place. And bottom, how about 20 pixels? Has it gone? Yes, it is working. I think absolute was working fine. You have to use things, and they sometimes work, they don't work. So from the top, it should be, how about 18%? Still didn't work. How about 50%? That's looking okay. And from the left, how about aligning the text align, what I just did, text text align in the center. Will that work? That didn't work. So because we are using position, so we have to use from the left. How much it should be? Around 40%. That's I think it's in the center, and we may change its font as well to this font. Why not? I think the video has gone very long. I may not style the footer because that will make this video very long. Now we need to reduce this maybe 34%. That's looking fine. Well, now we need to create a button. And do we want to put it further down? I think instead of 50, how about 60? That's looking fine. The image is pretty large. We could reduce that as well, but it's okay. Well, it's just okay. Now let's put a button to buy. So here we come inside the main. Inside, I think this section only, we are going to create a button, button button, and give it a class of buy. I could just write it over there only. Buy now or start shopping. Yeah, that makes sense. So this buy button now needs some styling. Dot bu buy. It should be dot bu buy. Does it need a width? Yeah, we want to make it pretty large, 200 pixels. Height of how about 60 pixels? Does it need a border? Yes, a kind of subtle small border about 8 pixels. Does it need no, it should be border. Radius. Does it need a background? Background should be none. We want to keep it transparent. And what should be the color of the text inside this? It will be black by default, but let's look. That has gone way down or underneath. We want to keep that same styling again. We want to increase the font size maybe 2 ems. We want to give it this same font family. Let's put it over here. 2 ems is pretty large. How about 1 em? That's making sense. The height should be 50 maybe. Oh, fine. Now we need to do the same thing again here, like we did here. Position. Give this to the buying button, and let's see. Now we need to bring it down. From the top, it should be about 70%. That's okay. From the left, it should be about 40%, 44%. Making sense, okay? And do we want to give it some other border? It is having a kind of grayish border. So border should be 2 pixel solid. How about orange? We can change it anytime we want, and it's looking pretty fine. Now we need to style the footer. How we do that? We go to the HTML file again, underneath main. The main is done now. It's done. So create footer. It's given by the HTML itself, so we do not have to create some divs and all those things. What does the footer has? Footer might have a lot of things. It has a kind of subscribe to our new newsletter. So we will create a newsletter, this thing, kind of big one. So create a section, SCCTI section, and give it SCCTI1 section, ION section, and give it a class of NEWS news. Inside this, what we need to have few things. One is a kind of text, subscribe to our newsletter. 2, 3, it needs 3 things. I think this should be a box clickable, and this should be input. So it has 3 things. First is an h2 tag, and it call it sub CRIV, subscribe to, or NEWSLETTL, subscribe to our newsletter. Then what do we have? We have kind of enter. So create a div, ENTR, enter. Inside this we have 2 things. One is an input, and its placeholder should be enter your email. I think enter your email address. But this makes sense. And does it need a class? Yes, and call that email maybe. And then we have button. Should it be a button or a div? I think it should be a button. How about not a button but a div only? It should be, what is this? Subscribe. I have already used that class, I think. No, I have not. So maybe press this button now, okay? Just press, and now what is this? Subscribe. SUBSCRIVE, subscribe. Now we need to style. Does it have any icon? It doesn't have an icon. So footer has this. Now we need to style the footer. FOT or footer. It needs a width, width width, and let me see how large is this. It is same as ATVW width. Height should be 200 pixels, no problem. That makes sense. And what does it have? Nothing yet. We are not. I think this thing is not inside the footer. This news. So I will take it out of the footer and I will put it inside the main. Yes. Now if I come down here, something is showing up. Let's style that. The font size of this thing is pretty large. Instead of H2, I think it should be an S3. No problem. Okay, and it needs its fonts family should be changed as well. So I think Roboto looks fine. And come to this news. I think it will be done here. .news news. First change the font family. The font is changed. Now we need to do one more thing, and that is display it as a flex. So things are looking fine. How about that's okay? That's okay. Now we would like to make this input section pretty large. And what is the name of this thing? Input. It is enter. So come here, enter, enter. Should have a width of width of around 50 BW. Let's see if that work or not. Nah, this didn't work. So no, I have to increase this email. It should be email, and its width should be 50% or 50 BW. Let's see if that work or not. That has not worked. We have to look for some good hack. That worked. And if I come back over here now, we do not want to make it like this. We want to make it large. Will that work? Yes, why not? We can try it. And width is given. Now we want to give it some height as well. How about 40 pixels? That's okay. We make it 30. That's okay. Now what else we need to put this button now. Why this button is not on that side already? Now this enter should be displayed as flex .ent or enter, and display it as flex. Now this is getting aligned to that side. And what is this subscribe? Subscribe is a div, and that needs some styling as well. I think it could be a box. That could be a better thing. What is the name of this thing? It's a press .press press. It needs to have some width. How about 100 pixels? And height same as the other element, that is 330 pixels. And it should have a border 1 pixel solid 000, that is black. Does it need padding? Does it need border? Its color is very bright. I think 30 is not okay. How much do we have here? Height is 30, and what was here? Height is 30. I think we need to give it some padding as well. How about 8 pixels? That is too much. How about 4 pixels? Still too much. How about 2 pixels? It looks fine. And now I will increase the width of this thing to around 200 pixels. That's looking okay. And what else? Its text should be in the center. So what should we do? Text align in the center, but it's still not in the dead center. What we do, we use line height. Line height, how much should be that? 30 pixels. Make sense? And now letters should be spaced. I mean, if you come over here, there's a kind of space in between, and we want to do that. We will change the font family as well. So that is letter spacing, maybe 4 pixels. Makes sense? We want to change the font family as well of the whole thing. So here we come. We want to change it to this vast shadow. I will come to the press, and what's the name of this section? It is news. Let's see if that work or not. That will put things away because this font is pretty large. Yes. Now we may need to do a few things. Subscribe, that's okay. That's okay. And let's put this thing to the extreme right side. How we do that? So this is display flex. How about justify content to the flex end or end? That didn't work. How about text align to the left? That will make it ugly. Still not working. We need to give some padding, margin to the input. We have to use some hacks. So where is this thing? This button is email. This email needs some margin on the left side. How about auto? That didn't work. How about 6%? Where is percent? I will increase it 12%. Working fine. How about 20%? 40%. Is it even happening or not? No, it is just reducing its size. That's a bad thing. I think this whole thing, that is enter, needs this padding. I'm sorry guys, I was doing the wrong thing. Where is this enter? Now this thing needs this padding, or it could be, let's try that thing over here. Justify content to these end or the flex end. Nah, that didn't work. Align items to the flex end. This is flex in this direction, so we need to put this justify self flex end. Still not working. I think we will need to put this margin on the left side, maybe 6%. That is still not working. How about minus 6%? I will remove this thing. Maybe this is giving some problem. Oh, this thing is getting tough. Okay, margin on the left side should be how much? Maybe 20%. How about this? This is working now. It should be 10%, could be, how about 12%, how about 11%. I mean, I'm trying everything that is possible, still not working. Now we need to do some other thing, and what can be that? How about decreasing the size of this this email from this to maybe 40 bw? That's a stupid thing. That is a stupid thing. Why this text is not displaying in one line? What does it mean? The press is okay. Email is it has a kind of width, it has a height, that's okay. Footer, yeah, we're not careful about this now. Enter should be if I remove this display flex, no, it needs to be a flex. This text should be in one line. Why this is not in one line? This should be in one line, but this is not getting displayed in one line. And what is the reason for that? Display flex is okay, and align items, justify content should be, how if we try this, space around, let's try that, space evenly. I might be wasting a lot of time because even this simple website has taken so much time, guys. Because, okay, how about, what is the name of this whole thing? This is news and it needs margin at the top, so it is not touching everything at the top. How about 6%? Logging fine up to here. Have we done something wrong here? This is display flex. Should it be displayed as a flex? If I remove it from here, I have used flex so many times. I think this was the problem. This was the problem. Now this thing, this text is too huge, or maybe we will reduce this from 50 bw to 40 bw. Now things will start making sense. Maybe it should be 32 bw or percent of the view width. I will take care of them, do not worry. And now where are they all? They are inside the enter. What is this enter? Enter is second part. I will put the display flex again. You see that it's happening now. And now we need to align the items, justify content, space, no, space between. I think I might have taken a long time to make this video. This thing is making some sense. I will need to reduce the font size of this text over there. So now we will use a smart thing, that is for the enter. How about margin on the left auto? That has not worked. Still that has not worked. How about justify self to the flex end? Justify self to the button, maybe. I think I should make it 30%. I'm trying to find a hack. Now it's making some sense. width is 30% of what? We will make it in pixels. How about 300 pixels? Now it's making sense, but we need to put this to the right side, and this is inside the enter margin right, margin left, margin auto has kind of worked now. What is stopping it? Let's give it more margin. So margin on the left, maybe 20%. I mean, I have to complete it no matter what. The right. Yes. We don't need that. How about 4%? That just happened, and now I think I will increase the width of this search, this this thing. What is this thing? I mean, this might be the wrong way. What you are seeing, like how things happen, sometimes they give problems, and it's kind of done. Okay, now I think I'm getting late, so there is not much in the bottom. So anyway, we have to do that inside the footer. I think the video has gone too long. I don't know the width of this video. I can see it here. Maybe we should do the footer, because I'm not going to give up. Okay, we have a kind of footer nav, and inside this we have some a, and call them NLINKs, no problem, and take them nowhere. And what is the name of them individually? About us, customer service, about us, duplicate it, and it is CUSTOM, customer, SERVIC, service. Underneath this, what is this? Colophone. I have no idea what is that. COLOPHON, colophone. Duplicate it one more time, and it's privacy, PRIVACY, that makes sense. Now what does it have? That's done. It has a border at the bottom, and now we need to create those social media icons. So CIL social, yeah, and inside this we will create those ilinks and have a class fab dash Instagram. What else we have? Instagram, Vimeo, Vimeo. What is that? It's Twitter and YouTube. TWITTR, Twitter, and we have YOUTUBE, YouTube. Let's refresh if the icons are coming or not. They are. Subscribe to our newsletter. So have we? Now we need to give some width and those things to the footer. So where is the footer? It has a width, it has a height, it needs a margin at the top. Margin at the top about 10%, and also this margin to put things. No, why don't we do one thing? 10% and auto. Let's see if that thing work or not. It has not worked. Why so? The footer is not height. It has a width, it has a height, it has a margin at the top. No, let's just do this only at the moment. Yes, and I was doing wrong. I was so wrong. I just have to write margin here. No, margin 10% and auto. That is making sense now. I think this kind of this thing, these are the links, and they are footer nav, footer. Why they got styled? Because I used n links and I already have styled this, so I'm kind of using thing that is already made. So text align to the left. Let's see if that work or not. Okay, I'll take care of this. So where is this thing? This is social dot social. Social, what does it need? They need some spacing. So where are they? Social, what does it have? Social I. They need some padding. Padding to the left. How about padding to the left? How about 40%? No, 40 pixels. That will space them out. They need margin at the top. Margin at the top about 6%. That's working fine, but why things are not aligned to the left side? I think the footer still needs some margin at the top. Footer margin at the top about 12%. That's looking fine. Now this social dot social should have a margin on the left as how much should be okay. How about minus 4%? That is not okay. 2%. I think I should use display flex, maybe, why not, and put them things into the starting point. And then what do we have? I think we have a line over here underneath this, and this footer nav should have a margin at the bottom. No, bottom 1 pixel solid black, and it needs padding at the bottom. How much? Maybe 6%. Let's see if that work or not. No, I should not refresh this. I should refresh what I'm working on. It kind of worked. Maybe it's too much. How about 4% or maybe 2%? It's making sense now. What is left? Just this thing. That is, after the social, we need this this copy. We are creating a div, and inside this we need a p tag. And what does it have? I will just copy things this, and I will create that copy mark sign kind of. So how we create that? And copy, that's done. Now we need to put that text. Now we will put this social thing into a different line, that is bo bottom line, and like this it should be here. Now this bottom line bow bottom dot bow bottom, align a line, display flags, justify content space sps space between. Let's see if that work or not. It's kind of worked. And now I think how about removing this? I should keep that. Maybe there is some problem. How about 4%? No. I will take care of this thing later on. And now this whole thing, bottom line, should have a margin at the top. Margin at the top of around 4%. The website is done. Now I think this phone is not looking good. We can change this phone, and let's come over here. We will copy this Roboto phone, and we'll give this to this particular element, that is bottom line. Let's see if that work or not. Maybe this will affect the font awesome, but it should not. The website is done. Few things are looking ugly, but it's the kind of rough attempt, and I was kind of getting late, so I will not I mean, I will not clean it up. So guys, have a great day.